Right, hello everyone. It's Shane here. If you saw my video from yesterday, and if you've seen some of my recent posts as well, I promised to try and explain to these people who don't understand exactly why people with disabilities, including autism like myself, might not be able to wear a face covering when required. Of course, with this being a live stream, I might stammer a lot and stuff, but that's because of my anxiety and it's part of my disability. However, I have improved a lot 'cause a bit ago I wouldn't even be able to do a live stream. So please bear with me. First of all, that's important to point out is that everybody with a disability is different, just like anybody in general is different. That that means that, like, I'm just going to use autism as an example because, of course, because I've got it, I've got more. I know more about it since I have it. Some people with autism will be completely fine wearing a mask. They will get overwhelmed. They'll be fine. Some people, such as myself, will be able to wear them for small sections of time, but then will have to take them off when they begin when they begin to feel themselves getting overwhelmed. However, some people with autism might not be able to even try to wear them without the risk of hurting themselves or other people, which of course we wouldn't want. Of course, there's also obvious reasons why people can't wear masks, stuff like breathing difficulties and stuff like severe asthma. With the government restrictions currently, only extremely severe asthmatic people have to shield. Everyone else is allowed to go out just like everyone else. So that means that you will see people with asthma on buses, and some of these people will not be able to wear a mask. That does not mean that they should stay at home because it's safer. What's safer for them is to also get some fresh air, and that's important to note. Yeah, but now I'm going to go deeper because, of course, I can't explain like why. Of course, some of these explanations I'm going to give will apply to loads of different kinds of disabilities. So I'm just going to go basically through how I get overwhelmed while wearing face masks. The main reason is, of course, having something on my face. It's basically having something different on my face. I mean, I don't even like beards and mustaches. Never mind, like a blood fabric over my mouth and nose and ears. I can't stand it. And the thing is, I can wear them for a bit. I can tolerate it for a bit. However, if I do feel myself getting overwhelmed, like I said yesterday, I do take the mask off. And so that's completely fine to do because I wouldn't want to, of course, cause any harm to anyone else from me getting overwhelmed and me having a meltdown. I wouldn't want that. And of course, I would be responsible for any of my actions if that happened. So I too have to make sure that other people are safe. And that's like I'm gonna wear a face mask for as long as I can. But it's also for safety that I take it off. And people, like I said, might ask again, why don't you just stay at home, or why don't you not go to places? Why don't you not go to places where you need to wear a face mask? And the answer to that for me is simple, because if I didn't do these things, when it became time for me to actually have to do them, like me having to volunteer, like for me volunteering at a special needs school, I do need to use public transport to get there. And of course, if I haven't used public transport for ages, I'm going to get super nervous of using it. And it'd get to that stage where I'd need somebody to actually come with me for me to actually have to use it. And of course, then that would be, I'm trying to think of a better word than burden. So although it wouldn't feel like a burden to them, it would to me feel as if I'm being a burden to the person having to come with me, just so that I can do everyday things. Before this lockdown, I improved massively, especially through the help of Disability, Cat Zero, and the Special Needs School as well. And I made massive strides. During this lockdown, I'm not ashamed to say, but I have regressed. And my ability to mask has also been diminished to like limited amounts of time. Whereas before I could mask like my autism side for like hours and stuff. Whereas now I can maybe mask my autism for about quarter of an hour or something, which of course isn't really that long. So the reason why I'm still going out is to try to get myself back to where I was before, so that when I am able to start doing stuff again, like going back to the special needs school, I am able to. Because obviously, if I can't be sensible enough to do it, to be around the kids, vulnerable kids, obviously it would be irresponsible for me to go there. And of course, I really do miss what I used to do, as I was making great strides, and I've just felt as if I was helping people, and it gave myself a great deal of pride in myself as well as in like everyone else. Of course, so we've got the feel of the mask on the face, but there's also, this will also apply to people with breathing problems, where obviously covering your mouth, if you have breathing problems, and I think there's a better way to describe it. Let's just say you have severe anxiety, or autism, or ADHD, dementia, or Alzheimer's, or a disability or condition where you become more confused than other people, more confused easily. And now let's just say you've put something completely new over your mouth. You put something completely new over your mouth. Sorry, I'm just getting a video call, and I'll just make sure it isn't. It's only a friend. I'll get back to her in a minute. It'll just be about helping her and stuff with something. But yeah, basically, people who get confused easily can also become very agitated and frustrated easily. As you know, with people like with autism, dementia, Alzheimer's, if they get confused, they can start lashing out, which of course puts other people around them at risk, including themselves as well. Because if they lash out, because I'm not being funny, but if I start lashing out, of course, my first instinct before a complete meltdown is to protect other people around me. So what I will do is, rather than hitting them, I would rather hit myself or stuff or inanimate objects around me. I think that's the best way to describe it, I think. And obviously, we wouldn't want anyone to get hurt. So please understand that we do try as hard as we can to keep everyone safe. But we have to also remember that keeping everyone safe isn't just keeping everyone safe from this virus, although that is important. It's about keeping people safe physically as well. And we obviously don't want to have a meltdown on the bus and start lashing out at people. So, of course, we'd be responsible for that. And also, even if they decide not to press charges, which is unlikely, it's still, I've had meltdowns before where people have gotten hurt, mostly as a kid. And I still have nightmares about them, and I still feel a massive amount of guilt, as I should, even though people have forgiven me. And even though counsellors have said, you couldn't help it, it was basically you as a kid, you basically didn't know you didn't know why you was getting so frustrated, because I wasn't diagnosed with autism until last year, January 2019, actually. So, but basically, the point is I still did those things, and of course it will haunt me until the day I die, what I did during my meltdowns. And of course, I would do anything to stop that from happening ever again. That does not mean I'm going to stay shut in my house away from people, because that is not right, and that would be setting a bad example for other people with autism and disabilities, that they should do the same, when in fact they shouldn't. They should be allowed to do the exact same things that other people are doing. According to the Equality and Diversity Act, all companies and businesses must set reasonable adjustments in place to make sure people with disabilities can get the same service as more able people. I'm sorry this has been such a long video, and I'm sorry that I've been stammering on and maybe blabbering on for a bit, but that's because I wanted this to be more spontaneous than me scripting it, because I wanted people to actually see how much it means to me that I get the right words across. I will be doing a scripted one a bit later where I can maybe reflect my thoughts a bit more. However, this is basically how I feel, because my head's all over the place at the minute, because the thing is, there are that many people, like, with that many questions, that I cannot answer them all without people asking them me directly. Like, so if anyone has any questions about, like, why people with disabilities are not able to wear face coverings, then please ask me, or just ask anyone with any disabilities. If I would rather you ask them, like, for like why you're not able to wear one, like genuinely ask, not like nastily ask. I'm pretty sure I'd rather you ask and help them to gain awareness rather than you like shaming and harassing people because of it. Asking them a question is not exactly harassing them. For example, if I asked like somebody if my friend asked me, can I ask why you're not able to wear a face mask? What is it you struggle with? I would be completely fine, and most people with disabilities would be completely fine with you asking them that, because they will be happy that they want to become more aware of their disabilities. And when you become more aware, it increases the awareness just a tiny bit, but even a bit of progress is still progress, because this is where you are now, this is where you was before, and even though it's slow, it's still going up. And hopefully, if you become more aware, you might pass that awareness on to other people, like your friends and family, and that'll increase the awareness even further. So please do not be afraid to ask us, like, what we struggle with and why we're not able to do something, as long as you do it in a constructive, kind manner. If you ask us in a kind and constructive manner, we'll be more than happy to explain it to you if we can. However, please understand that some people might not be able to explain it, especially those with mutism and stuff like that, those who are like non-verbal. In that case, please respect that, and if necessary, you can ask their parents, but please also respect their privacy and the fact that they don't actually have to explain anything about their disability to you if you don't want to. And they also don't have to declare a disability unless if it's a member of the authorities, like the police, ambulance, fire, for example, then you actually do have to declare it, of course. But if you're but if, for example, of a shop, you don't have to declare it. However, there's a bit of a grey area. The thing is, if you don't actually declare what your disability is, they might be able to refuse you, and they might be able to refuse to accommodate it. However, most good businesses would just accept you saying that I've got a disability and explaining what the disability stops you from doing. So yeah, I will try and do another video at some point explaining a bit more clearly why we're not able to wear face masks. And like I say, if you have any questions, send me messages and comments on YouTube, email, visit my email on my YouTube profile, on Instagram, on Facebook. I've got all those. If you have any questions whatsoever, please just send them to me, and I'll even answer them in like a YouTube video, because I really do want to increase awareness of why. Things we're not doing it on purpose. That's what I want to help people understand. So I do believe that some people aren't doing it intentionally, picking on us intentionally, but honestly do not understand. And that's the thing I want to help those people to understand. To those people who do understand but don't care anyway, I guess there's nothing I can really do. And to be quite honest, it doesn't really matter if you believe that we should have to stay inside and that we should be able to be discriminated against, because the law says different. And until that happens, I'm sorry, but your opinion, all it matters, doesn't really matter, because people with disabilities shouldn't be discriminated against no matter what. And I'm sure most good people and kind people would agree with that. Thanks very much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.